Hi, folks. Let's talk about links, shall we? Okay, links are the backbone of web pages. Anytime you go to any sort of website and you have like a page for their services, a page for their directions or contact us or their blog or any of that stuff, it's all linked together with links. So we're going to need to learn about these, and so that's what we're going to do. So here's what links are called. Links, HTML links, are what are called hyperlinks. And a hyperlink is a text or an image you can click on and jump from where you're at to another document. Here's how they work. What I've done here is I've opened up my template file and I've saved it off to a file called links. Okay, and let's go ahead and set up a link real quick. I'm going to type in a new paragraph. And I'm going to say something like this. It's an A tag, href equals sign, open quote, wherever it is you're going to, your URL. So let's say, for example, I want to go to Google. Right? So I type in my URL, close quote, close the open tag, type in whatever it is whatever text or image or any of that stuff you want to type in. So I'm just going to say Google, or click here to go to Google. And finally, closing a tag. Save your file, run your page, and what you should see here is a click or a link. And if I click on it, I'll actually go to Google. Okay, that's the simplest link that you can create, and that is just a text-based link. Okay. So your href attribute that we see here, what that does is that specifies your destination address, and then your link text is the visible part. Okay. And again, if we click on it, it'll send you out to wherever it is that you link to. In this case, out to Google. All right. Moving on. Local links. So local links, if I have a link that I want to link to that's on my same website, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a new web page called links to, and I'm going to save it. Okay. Links to, here's what I'm going to do is I'm just going to type in something along the lines of this. I'm just going to save. Or it says something like, welcome to the second page, nice to see you. Okay. So I have my links page, and in my href here, instead of typing in http:// all I do is I put in the name of the page that I want to go to. In this case, it's links to .html. Gotta have that. And I'm just going to type in something like click here to go to the second links page. And the text isn't important. What's important is how this link is structured. Save my file and refresh, and it's going to say click here to go to the second links page. Okay, it says welcome to the second page, nice to see you. So again, I have the link and I click on it and it takes me from links to links to. See? All right. Now, some of the stuff that we can do is we can change our colors and our icons. That's why I had ran you through the CSS tutorial in the previous video, is so you can start learning on how to format these different links. Now, by default, a link in general will be blue until you click on it and it'll turn purple. Okay, that's really ugly. So what we do is we actually will format these links to look like whatever we want them to look like. Right? Here's how you do this. So when you move the cursor over your link, two things normally happen. One, your mouse arrow turns into a little hand. Okay, just like that. Then the color of the link element will change. Again, an unvisited link is underlined in blue, a visited link is underlined in purple, and an active link is underlined in red. So when we're clicking on it, see how it turns red, and then we'll go to where we're going. Let's go ahead and change the defaults. We're going to use some styles here. What we're going to do is just going to change our style slightly. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do here real quick is in your text, it shows you how to do that inline. I do not want that inline. I want it in a CSS file. So I'm going to do this in my head section. I'm just going to link to an external style sheet. I need to create an external style sheet as well. So link href. And in this case, I'm going to call it link styles.css, since I already have a styles.css file in there from previous tutorial, so I don't want to use that one again. And our relationship is a style sheet. So I don't forget that. That wouldn't be good. We wouldn't be able to see where we wanted to go. Right? Okay, so links. Next thing I need to do is I need to go and create a new thing called, and I'm going to save this. Let's make sure we're on the same page. We are. Okay, and we're going to call it link styles. All right. Let's do an active link. So that's a colon link. Okay, that's our default link style. Let's set the color to 0000000, 6 zeros. Background color to transparent, so there's nothing there. Let's do this in separate lines to make it a little easier to see. And our text decoration, again, what we're doing here is removing the line. Okay. What we're going to do next is do the same thing for visited. So again, we're just stripping out the text decoration here at this point. So visited is a link that you've already visited. So instead of a colon link, it's a colon visited. Okay. We're going to paste our code again, and we're going to call this one active. This is for hover. This is when we hover over a link. So hover. We're just going to change the text to be a little more gray in color. So it's FF0. 000, and active looks like it's pretty much the same. Okay, so I'm going to copy my code from hover and just change the word hover to active. Okay. Text decoration, underline. Okay. And in hover and active, I want my text to be underlined when I click on it or hover over it. All right, let's go ahead and save this. All right, So I had a little typo up here in the link where it says links styles. What I had here previously was link style, and had to change that out real quick. So fix that typo, and then I'm going to go and refresh my page, and here's what I should see. Again, if I have a link, it basically I've stripped out a lot of the formatting that's default, and all I'm doing now is when I hover over it or click on it, what we should basically see is that it's not underlined by default, and when we go to hover over it or click on it, it's underlined, and its behavior changes slightly. Okay. Let's take one last look here. Need to put in our proper color. There we go. That's more like it. Okay. Must be getting rusty in my old age or something here. Anyways, before you type in your color for a hex value, you need to put in a pound sign. All right, there we go. That's perfect. Okay, so that's how you use colors. And icons. Okay, so next thing we have is our target attribute. And basically what this states is that depending on how we want our link, where do we want it to go to? Do we want to open it up in a new tab, in a new window, in the same window? There's all kinds of different ways to do this, but the biggest one that you have and that I usually will use is to open up something in a new window or tab. Okay. And that's the only one I'm going to show you, but there are several in the tutorial. The one that you need to be aware of, because you're going to use it 99% of the time, is a blank window. So if I have a link, like I do right here, all I need to do is, after href, I just type in target =, open quote, underscore blank, close, end quote. Right. If I open up the second links page, what it's going to do is it's going to pop up a new window or a new tab and say, welcome to the second page, nice to see you. Okay? Okay. Let's say I want to set an image as a link. This is something that you see a lot of, and it's actually very easy to do. All you need to do is do this. I'm going to type in a new paragraph, and I'm going to type in the image tag. So it's img src, that's the source of the image. And let's just make sure that I have this image where it's supposed to be here. Let's see, documents, web page development, tutorial pages, images, and logo. Yes, it is there. Okay, so I saved the Shattered State logo, and I created a folder called images, and I put the logo in there. So it's logo.png, and let's see. The other thing I need to do right before here is type in an a tag, href, and I'm going to go to http://csc.edu. Okay. And then close out my a tag after the image tag. Remember, the image tag is a self-closing tag. You do not need a closing tag there. And that should do it. Close out the paragraph. Here's what I should see. Is a logo for csc.edu. If I click on it, it will take me to CSC's website. Okay. I can go ahead and change that target to blank, so it'll open up in a new window. Okay, just like that. Okay. IDs that we could use with CSS. Let's say we want to change our, well, there's all kinds of different things we can do here. But the ID attribute in this case can be used to create bookmarks inside of my documents. So the bookmarks aren't displayed in any special way. They're invisible to the reader. However, if you have a, let's say like Wikipedia, for example. Let's go out there real quick. Let's just type in Times Square. Okay. Now, here's what I would see. If I go to the contents here, right, and I click on any of these sections, for example, IRT 42nd Shuttle Street platforms, what you see down in the bottom right or bottom center at the bottom of the page, you see a pound sign IRT 42nd blah blah blah. I click on that, and what it'll do is it'll drop me right down to that section of the page. Okay, that's pretty handy if you have something like Wikipedia or any other website where you have a lot of content, and instead of having to have somebody scroll down and keep scrolling, you can just click on a link that'll take you down to that section of the page, which is great. Here's how you do that. So let's say we have a section here. And I'm going to type in something like this. So I don't know, I'm just typing random stuff here, but I'm saying link to topic section. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say A ID equals, or I'm sorry, A href equals, and whatever that ID is. Let's say topics. Okay. Now, down here, let's pretend this is the bottom of the page. I have another paragraph called topics section. Okay. Or maybe it's in a, let's say it's an H3 size, H2 size heading. Why not? So for H2, I have this. I'm going to say A ID equals topics. Okay. Save my file. Refresh my page, and then what you'll see is that I have a link to the topics section, and the link that'll show up here is :topics, which is this part of the page. Now, if we had a ton of content on this page and we had to keep scrolling, this would take us right to our page. Okay. All right, so kind of summarize links here. Use the HTML element to define a link, okay, which is right here. This is a link. Use our href attribute to define the link address, like csc.edu or links2.html, depending on where they're at. Use the target attribute to define where to open the link document. In this case, in a new page or tab. Use the HTML image element inside A to use an image as a link, okay, which is right here. This whole section. Then use the ID attribute ID equals value to define a bookmark in a page, and then the href attribute for the value to address the bookmark. Right there. So that, in a nutshell, is how to use links in HTML, and you'll be using a lot of those. So play around with the code a little bit and get used to it. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I'll help you out as soon as I can. Thanks.